Oh, I love stress. Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 50 of the Showerpodcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and there couldn't be a better topic for this episode because, episode 50, big achievement, we are very, very, very close to arriving. Not to episode 100, but we're half there. It gets me excited. And also the reason why I have so much energy and I'm very energetic is that today it has been a very stressful day. Now, for those who don't know me, which again, I can imagine it's most of you, or at least, let's say not to that deep level. I am not, generally speaking, somebody that likes to get stressed. I generally believe that it can get so overwhelming so fast that I am, let's say, very close to all the people that truly suffer from it. And I can absolutely understand why and how that happens, because it can be so overwhelming, so fast, and in every moment of the day that really it's incredible. And as much as, the the response could be a bit, let's say, basic, and you might have heard it so many times, but what do? I just don't stress, in the sense that as much, and I try to push as much as possible any kind of inconvenience, any kind of, let's say, problem that I have on my back. Let's say I leave that stress space only for the things that are really on my back and that I have to solve. Of course, this again, I don't want to, make a list of all the things that make me do this, but I think it's fair, to bring my statement forward. And of course, this comes, as I was saying, from a huge privilege that I have, that being that at the moment I don't have anything, on my neck and that puts pressure on me and stresses me out that hardly. Having said that, I had my absolute amount of stress in my life, and I do have to say that this kind of strategy still work. I always try to reduce as much as possible the thoughts in my head, and mostly to not let them live throughout my whole day. Of course, there are moments when I was more vulnerable, be it in moments of, again, de-stress, where when you not think about it, and then, the idea comes to your mind, or when you try to go to sleep. These are all moments in which everybody, happens that it can, these thoughts come to you and stress you out. But, there is the other factor that is the one that I can, but it stresses me out. It definitely has an effect on me, as you can see. And these are, let's say, unplanned events. Those are the things that drive me crazy because, again, I do like to, again, as I said many times, I do like to structure my day in a certain way so that I know that, here I do this, here I do that. And I, again, try to put myself into a space that allows me to do that. The moment that these unplanned events, come through my way, and for example, today it was a problem, let's say at work, that was quite critical and required, let's say, immediate reaction. Even though, again, I know it's part of the job, I know it's something that can happen, it still bothers me. It bothers me to a level that it's unpleasant, let's say, on a general basis, because first of all, there is pressure that is coming from it, and you have to deliver. It's not something that you can take time and again go along with the kind of let's say strategy and ways of doing that I do prefer. So having an analyzed and, let's say, structured plan before doing something, and not just having to rush into it. So again, when it happens, again, you have to deliver. It's not like you can do anything. Like you just have to be there and do your stuff. But this kind of feeling, again, it completely bothers me and puts me in this situation of fight or flight, like reaction. But in all the negative aspects that this put, I would still prefer this kind of feeling and lifestyle until a certain point, of course, but I will try to explain you why, compared to the kind of day that I had Monday. Because if you have that kind of Monday every day for a certain amount of time, bad things happen to your mind. Whereas, as much as one can get stressed and can be put into a very stressful situation, that keeps you alive and makes you do the things that you were supposed to do at a pace that, let's say, on a more planned version of yourself, or let's say a more relaxed one, you wouldn't go so far. But as I said in previous episodes, I do believe that the key to success and to being something better, if you want to recover, to listen to this kind of, idea, you can go and listen to the story of a man in one of the previous episodes. But yeah, it's something that I do enjoy. So I'm always battled between this, on one hand, I don't like it because I know that it's not necessary. I could live, way better without it. On the other hand, though, I'm like, but I do kind of like this. It puts me in a mood that it's a bit more stressful, but at the same time, it's lively. It keeps you going. And to close, I would like to give you the story that has, let's say, planted this idea in my head. Because for many years, I used to work as a voluntary for this association that was doing projects with the United Nations. And once per year, we would bring students to New York to have them do the event or the project there and also explore their city. The problem is that the kids that we were bringing there were teenagers between 14 to 16 years old. So absolutely anything can happen. And the problem with that is that you couldn't, rest a single moment. Every moment you had something to do, you were always running, always walking, always, looking for the next thing. And you would sleep, 3-4 hours per night for a full week. And yet it felt good. It felt good, it felt satisfying, and even though you arrive home after that week and you're absolutely KO, you want to sleep, and I did for more than 24 hours straight, but at the same time, you are still able to do it. There's no, any huge, side effect to that. Of course, you are a bit more tired, you have to recover a bit, but again, as long as you, and this is maybe the whole and the idea behind what I wanted to deliver in this episode, is that as long as you expose yourself to bursts of stress, so as it happened today, every once in a while, you get this, this feeling of, hey, you got to do stuff and you got to do it fast and you have to act on your feet. I do believe that it's way better than just living chill your life and not being, put under pressure. Is it a bit toxic? Maybe, but at the same time, I generally believe this is something that we all need in our lives, because otherwise you are just lost. So yeah, very happy about this episode 50. It's really, I think a good progress compared to episode 1. So thank you very much for listening. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, let me know what stresses you out and how you deal with it. I'd love to hear more about it. And see you at the next one.